Hi, this is Lisa Phillips and My Soul Empowered Life. It's where you learn how to open up the world of abundance to you by acknowledging your soul's gifts, your soul's type, and your soul's purpose. So thank you. In this, we're going to keep all the episodes pretty concentric, and I'm just going to make multiple videos so you can pick and choose which one best serves you at this time. So right now, I want to talk about when you finally get to your higher calling, it should absolutely make sense. And there's certain things you can learn about yourself. There's so much out there, and it's like, why is there so much out there? You only need your soul type. You need your soul gift. And if you want to really improve yourself, you can also get your soul's, there's like astrology, numerology, your life path, your arrows of strengths for this lifetime, your arrows of weaknesses. What do you need in this lifetime? What's your life path? What's your goal? And those are other things. But the first part's get your soul gifts and your soul types. So let me tell you what my soul gifts and types are. So when you hear what I reveal my final purpose is, it completely makes sense. Okay, so there are 8 different divine gifts, and I'm going to go into details on another one on what they actually, on all 8 of them, but I'm just going to let you know because I'm talking about my higher purpose, so then you can look at how it makes sense for you. Is I have 2 main divine soul gifts, and my first divine soul gift is divine truth. And my second divine soul gift is divine power. They're both equally strong within me. Some people have one, some people have multiple. And then you start really getting into people have different gifts and how so many different combinations makes us all unique. And you're here to do a certain thing with those gifts. You were given the right gifts, especially once you hear what your purpose is. And mind you, I got all this information from different sources. So when I find the higher calling and they told me what it was, and it matched up everything else in my gifts and all my types, what I got from someone else, you knew it was real. Okay, so mine is divine truth and divine power. In order for life to keep treating me well, for you not to get beat down and beat down and beat down until you wake up one day and having to be inspired, you need to indulge what your gifts are. So when your truth is when divine truth is your gift, this is what this means. It means your throat chakra is very strong. So that means you can be a good singer, you're a good articulator, you're articulate, you can communicate really well in any form because you need to communicate your truth. And when you communicate your truth, other people can see that there's truth in yours. So if you've been abused or if you're happy, and you talk about your happiness, other people can see their happiness and learn how to absorb that. When you talk about your truth and you've been through abuse and other people hear your story, you strengthen them to get out of where they are. You shift them up another level. It is so important for you to tell your story. Your story isn't for everyone. That truth is for other people who need to hear that truth, receive that truth, or Google that truth, or see you on YouTube, for them to get up. Because everything we're doing on this earth is to help other people. Before I got into spirituality story, I remember when I started my blog, which turned into a full business, which is changing people's lives. And I remember I said, anyone can start a business. You just have to have 2 things. You just have to know something that helps other people. That's it. A, B. Know something that helps other people. It can't be know something that helps yourself. Know something that helps other people. That does help other people. So all you got to do, and every business will be successful. So that's what divine truth means. And this is more study, but I'm giving you the concise version because I'm leaning this up to you see how when I heard my higher calling and purpose, it made sense. So I've always been being divine truth means I've always been very blunt. Our lot in life is to learn how to be less abrasive and more diplomatic and have more tact because truth doesn't always, no one wants to always hear that, right? But it's also expressing your truth and being open about who you really are so people can be comfortable and be who they really are. And when they're comfortable and can acknowledge who they really are, they can get past whatever they're trying to get past. Or they can follow you where they need to follow you. But if you don't open up and say anything. So, in divine truth, what you need to do is speak very specifically. There's other things where you should write. That's divine self expression. But when you have divine truth, you need to speak your truth. And it's in speaking your truth you empower others. And it could be, for me, I found that when I'm on video and I do YouTube videos, I have abundance. It comes from everywhere. I have abundance, it flows in. I constantly do. When I do not speak, it constricts and I don't make any money. It is very clear. So it even in a YouTube video, the same energy that I convey here than what that I do live counts. When you're doing this, you're shedding it's your strength, right? Writing, not my strength, probably yours. This is my strength at a soul level. When I indulge in this, it's saying, yes, universe, I'm listening. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. And your soul job is to literally do your part. And you shouldn't be scared when you hear what your higher purpose is. You should be perfectly fit for it. So that's the thing. And I really incorporated that when I learned about a year ago in my business. So now when we do real estate investing, I ask you, well, what's the higher purpose? Or what kind of business do you want? And it's not just speaking the truth, it's owning your truth. Who are you? How do you feel inside? So when I ask people about what do you want to see in your real estate investing business, they're like, well, I want it cheap, but I don't want to be in this type of neighborhood. Good. We find that. And some people tend to give in to they want this, so they'll give in to things they absolutely are not okay with. And that's not building a business you love. Building a business you love is listening to the fact that you said you did not want this, and you do want this, and we search for it. Not think you have to lower your standards. 100% it's worked with all of my clients, and it's a lot more fun. And it's just not compromising on what your truth is. Your truth for your business is going to look different than mine. When I build a real estate investing business, I don't care if family's there. I don't want to work with family. I want to work with a professional I paid to do a professional job. Other people, if their family's not in that location, they can't do it. And that's when you start getting to individualized truth. There is a reason you feel that way. There is a reason you need that and I don't. That goes back to your soul type. That goes back to your divine gifts, right? That we're going to be getting into, but it all makes us unique. Between all the different types and the different soul gifts, everyone's unique, okay? Everyone is unique. And you'll see that when we get more into it. So that's divine truth. You share your truth. You live in your truth. When something doesn't feel right, you listen to that more so than others. And when you stop listening to that, I know back in the day when I stopped listening to that voice, it's in my gut. Where it shows up for you, it might be the back of your head. For you, it might be like your hand tingles. It's different for everyone. We're all different. For me, it's I get it in my gut. So whenever I felt that gut reaction of, this doesn't sound right. I don't care if you're the president of the United States, that doesn't sound right. I don't care if you're my boss, that doesn't sound right, not doing it. I don't care if you're my best friend, that doesn't sound right, I'm not doing it. I learned very on when I ignored that voice that said it doesn't sound right and I did it anyways, always regretted it. So at a relatively young age, maybe the age of like 13 or 12, I was like, no. When that gut tells me to do this, I'm doing it. I don't care. I don't care if there's a police officer there. I don't care. You cannot shake me. And so that is my strength. So I've been living with that truth of myself, of what I really feel internally and going in and going, I don't even have to go hard in. It's like a very visceral reaction for me where it's not as visceral for others. I could just really just listen really easily. So it really helped me get to this path of spirituality to find out that I have this bigger life purpose. But that's divine truth. Just remember, speak. I have to speak, right? Speak my truth. Speak a truth. My second gift is divine power. When divine power is your soul gift, you have to, you have a power. So you are a natural leader. You are a natural entrepreneur and business owner, which I am. I had to get fired a lot of times before I realized that I finally found it and I'm in alignment with my gifts. I'm not like super big abundance, but I was consistently well provided for, consistently beautiful life, right? Because I was in my gift. You are a natural leader. You're a natural CEO. You're a natural business person. And not just that, you have the ability to figure things out that other people can't. That is your gift. I'm able to solve problems other people could not. I was able to get involved in real estate in other ways people could not. That's why my business had made such a headway in my real estate investing because I was able to figure out what other people just ignored blatantly or couldn't figure out, couldn't divine, just couldn't from themselves, which is fine. We all have different gifts. I'm not the best people person, right? I'm all truth and power. That's not necessarily people skills. But my daughter's divine love. She's all people. Everyone loves her, right? So we all have different gifts, right? So don't feel bad if you can't figure things out. The way this world is supposed to be, if we knew what our callings and gifts were, we would know who in our lives is there to help us with that. And that's what all this gives us is clarity. on why your family is the way they are. So when you really indulge, so for me, indulging in my gifts is using that power to accomplish things, usually happiness, my own form of happiness, but also empowering others. So the people who have divine power are excellent teachers. They've given the gift of teaching. So if you're a teacher in elementary school, you might have that gift. Usually the best teachers in college in high school are the ones with that gift. There's other people who use it as a calling or a profession, but aren't necessarily gifted with that. So, me being divine power, I'm a good teacher. So, when I went online and started telling people you can have the business you want, and I was talking and doing videos and I was teaching you how to do it, I made money. People were attracted to me. I built an audience. It's not, now that I look back, that's not by mistake. I listened to the fact that I was inspired one day by my astrology chart that said I inspire people financially. And I was like, I gotta tell people, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start telling people about this investing thing. They're doing it all wrong, whatever. And now, like around the world, I have people coming to me trying to find my investing advice, right? So you gotta just stay in alignment. And when you're inspired, go with what you are. But because those are my gifts, I have to speak it and I have to empower people. I was born with a very big. And then let me go into the different soul types. You have different soul types. There's 7 different soul types, or you might call them personality types, and they're very easy to remember. It is warrior, priest, scholar, warrior, priest, scholar, artisan, sage, server. Did I miss one? Warrior, priest, scholar. Oh, the most important one, king. So it's king, priest, warrior, scholar, sage, artisan, server. Those are the 7 personality types. And there's only 2 to 4% of the population are kings. My brother is actually one. Doesn't matter if they're poor or rich, they're going to rise to the top. They have their negatives and positives, which we're going to get into, but they are here for a purpose and they're able to lead as a king. And I'm going to go into the soul types on another video. So, my soul type, my main soul type is priest. There's a positive and a negative to that. On one hand, I'm able to inspire people with my words to get up and take action in a real way. So all the people who have priests as their primary are able to get you to wake up. I didn't realize I was utilizing that natural type of mind, that natural, what would you call it? You'd call it more of it is what you have. It's like a gift. It's part of you. I was able to move people just naturally with my words. Now, on the negative end, when I was younger, I saw a lot more of the negative, and I still do have it. The negative end, you can be dogmatic, opinionated, zealous, thinking you're always right because you have that firm conviction, right? So even if you're wrong, you're so firmly, and everyone else is like, you just have that godly zeal to help people. On the negative end, also, you have to study with vanity, arrogance, and pride. So I those are all 3 things that arrogance has gotten me in trouble. That's why I foreclosed on a house that I paid way more money than I should because I thought I knew everything. Arrogance and vanity, I hate the fact that I'm being in a different, like, if you flatter me, I like know you're flattering me to get something, but it's like hard for me not to melt a little bit. So don't try it. Like, I know it. And I melt a little, but so that's not a good thing, right? To be vain. But that is the negative. So the positive is that when you are truly compassionate, which is what I had to learn, right? I wasn't a people person. So I was like, oh, isn't everybody figuring this stuff out? No, they're not. Not everyone's an engineer. Not everyone's working for IBM. Not everyone's figuring out real estate, right? That was a gift for you to draw back. So I really had to learn compassion, and I'm glad I really started the spirituality track, like pure compassion. I'm not a monk, right? So if you come on my page tripping, I gotta tell you, my second soul type is warrior. So I have a natural fighter. You might see me going in like conflict head to head with a lot of people unblinkingly, which is a gift, but also can be a bad, and I'll get to that in a second. Right. So So, on the positive, when you're compassionate and you can inspire, you can take those who need your help, have compassion to want to help them, have the ability and energy to help them, to move them, to get them to that next level of evolution, whatever it might be. It might be financially, in the relationship, in their spirituality, in intellectually, whatever. There's different ways that you can inspire people, but you're getting them to the next level, and all five of those matter. And that's what I get as a priest. And so when I started in my real estate, a lot of it's going to be based off that, because that's really like a manifestation of me really stepping into alignment, not my higher purpose, but alignment with my gifts. So it's really like a next stage in evolution for me. And I've had extreme success, multi six figure businesses, since I started. Right. And so, um, you know, I was right there in my wheelhouse of inspiring people financially, having compassion for people who didn't think they can do it, using my divine gifts and divine power to teach it in a way that was easy for people, and also making sure they incorporated their truth. What do you really want? And starting to get them to tap into thinking about it, right? So that's the priest, just using all of those in an alignment. My second soul type is warrior. I thought it was my dominant because warriors only hear fight. Now, on the positive end, warriors are great. We're mission oriented. We stay focused. We get things done. We are, don't bother me with the BS. Give me what I need to accomplish my orders. I am like that in life. That's what you're going to get from me when it comes to, like, what do you need to find your higher purpose? This. Don't even mess with the other stuff. We don't need this. We need one thing, and for you to understand your soul gifts, your soul types, your higher purpose. We can go into the other things later, but that is your immediate. Warriors are hardcore. A lot of us end up in jail, though. So let's talk about the negative. The negative is that we only hear fight. We are no stranger to conflict. They say a warrior, you know them because we're always fighting with the mailman, a company, a corporation, anything that we think is unjust, not right, trying to take advantage of us. We do not back away from a fight. You can end up in jail. All right, so you can end up in jail because when I finally learned this, and I was talking to other people who are also warriors, because you sort of attract your tribe, and only four, like a very only 8% of the people are pure priests. Okay, so it's not a common one. King is 4%. Um, Warrior is 18%. So there's a lot of us out there. So if you need us to fight a cause, when you need us during the civil rights movement, we were in the front getting hosed, and we said, I don't care. I will die for this. I will die because this is right. I will die because, voting rights need to go on. So we serve our purpose. Now, when there's no civil rights movement, like anyone and everyone who tells us, who blocks us and gets us in a way of what we think our mission is or what we want, it is a conflict. And it's taken me 34 years to learn how to back down. Literally, when I learned that I was a warrior and what that meant and how that fight in me is natural and how it can be used for good, that's when I finally learned how to chill. And it was just, I hear fight. Like when you do this to me, I heard fight. You know, and your family, you're here to learn from your family. And when I tell you the different soul types, you'll be able to pick out what you are and they are. And my daughter, she's divine love, and I'm learning love from her. Like confirmation, like I'm supposed to live for her. That's one of her gifts. And she's at the playground, and this kid's on the slide, sitting down on the slide, and she's at the top. And he just looks at her. He's like a 10-year-old kid. My daughter's 2. And this is the difference between a warrior and someone who's not a warrior. Great. This is someone who's love and someone who's not love. Just a pure warrior in me. I know I would have slid down because I got in fights when I was a kid. I would have slid down and hit them on purpose. Because in my mind, if you're sitting there when you know I need to come down, you're doing this because you're telling me you want to fight. I literally would hear fight. I was wondering how my daughter was going to do it because I was like in my head, because I'm not actualized, okay? I'm like, hit him. And if he does anything to you, I'm going to get him, right? Like, that is how you hear things. Everything, if they do something, you don't hear it through love, compassion. You heard fight. Um, and she just looked at the kids. This is how love handles it. She just looked at the kid and went, hi. And he just coughed, said hi, got up and left. I was like, oh, that's a love way of handling it, because I would have hit him on purpose and then looked at him. Yes, a lot of warriors are in jail. So, and it's sad. That's why I need to get this out there, because hopefully they're hearing this and they understand. We lost this information, and it is coming back hardcore. it is coming back, but you need to know as soon as possible so you can understand you heard fight and you weren't necessarily that's not necessarily what they were giving us, but at least that through that I can understand, oh, that's why I have so many conflicts. I didn't even know. I could really forgive myself and understand that I do have a natural fight, but understanding that's a natural and to more acknowledge it and not just hear. And when I learned from my daughter love, and that maybe instead of fighting and conflict, maybe this time I can try seeing if they need something. It's just something that has shifted me so fundamentally. So it's important that you know that if you're a warrior or if you're a king. I know this one king. I've know two kings in my life. One is my brother, and he's evolved soul, like, and so I've always gravitated towards him, and just cool. Everyone loves him. When you're a king, you're charismatic. When you're a king, you're strategic. When you're a king, you know how to move all the missing pieces. Um, and Right. Um, and then I know another king, and he's charismatic too, but he's at his negative end. So he plays chess with people as pawns, his own personal pawns. He was given the gift. So, one king is benevolent, one king is like, you're his personal pawns. And the one who everyone's a pawn in his game because he does have the strategy and he can play people off each other like a game of chess, and that comes naturally to king, people with the king personality. But since he's on his negative, he's getting a divorce. His wife hates him. His kids don't like him. At work, it's hard. Like, life is tough. It's beating him down because he has not learned to get to his positives. And yeah, you don't know it, but there's just these rules. They're not really doing what's fair. It's doing if you're going by your rules, if you're learning how to evolve. And that is what I'm learning about life. It's not necessarily about fair. It's like you're here to do this. Some people are in alignment, but you're still here to do a task. And alignment will have bring you success, multi six figure success. Doing your true purpose will bring you millions, right? And so that's the thing and the beauty about knowing who you are. Now, I will admit my third, so usually I have two main ones, so I'm priest first, warrior second, which means I fight for my religious zeal. Like, I'm unfocused, I have a mission with my religious zeal naturally. And my third is a king, but that's not really big, but sometimes I see it that I can be very long range, long thinking, and I see it come up where I do have a level of charisma, but that could also be my warrior and my priest. I draw people's eyes. Um, I am a natural leader, but that's also warrior and priest. I just mostly notice it with like I can be long term, I can build, and I can wait. Like real estate investing, I'm doing rental properties. It's a long term game, and I'm just slowly stacking, right? And that's just some things that people don't naturally have. I automatically have a long 20-year view of things. Okay, so those are my soul gifts and my soul types, and I want you to see what my higher purpose is. You see how it all ties in. So I learned these all at separate times for separate people, but I knew soul gifts, you have to learn that. I knew soul types, you need to learn your soul type. Ugh, forgiveness of yourself is huge with soul types. Understanding where your power and abundance comes from are your soul gifts, right? So forgiveness and going forward. Forgive, go forward, right? Both have an aspect of evolution. Then we get to my higher calling and purpose. Now I have a life path and other things that'll help, but these are the big ones. And then I found out my higher purpose and calling is to be a motivational speaker. It could be in front of large audiences or on video and inspire people and empower people with their truths. Empower people that they are divine. Empower people with their soul's truth. And I have a contract to impact millions, they said. I say that because I want you to understand the gifts I was given. When I heard that, I went, millions? Okay. I didn't flinch. I didn't back away. I had to think for a second. Wow, yeah, I always knew I was going to be as big as Oprah, right? I did do that. That's that arrogance again, right? That's my path, okay? But I took it. I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Like, of course I'm going to be a multimillionaire. And just to put this in perspective, my husband's soul type, we have a life contract as well, I learned. And he's already doing it, so he's doing his job. He's living an abundant life, like me, right? We're good. We're multi six figure good. His contract is to help support me and hold the space so I can do what I need to do. Right? And when I told him that, because we got confirmation, I got his soul type, his soul gifts. Confirmation, it was like, yeah, because his soul type is divine love, divine expression. I'll tell you that in another video with the expression part from. And his type is scholar, which I have none of, like at all. So, like, he's more of the book, the written person, which complements me since I don't have that. And he isn't action. Scholar is not action. I'll get into that into the next video when I go into the soul types. You're not action. And so it made sense. It was like, yeah, I'm already doing that. I hold the space. I get the facts. I help you look at things. I'm non-judgmental. That's what divine love is. It's just non-judgmental people. They don't judge you. That's not what love is. And he does that. And you should have seen him. I told him that, and it lined up with all the gifts he had. And it was so clear, right? And he loved it. And I'm saying this because not everyone has a big goal. Some of your higher purpose is to work with animals. Some of you is to help the earth. Okay? Mine is to inspire millions and empower them with their truth and their power. And as soon as I did it, I was like, they need to know this, 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 and this. All that other stuff is BS. That was the warrior in me. That was the priest in me that's passionate about letting people know. And that's the king of like going, let me strategize, small king, letting you know how to do this. But like it's mine. And I have the arrogance and the pride to go, of course I'm going to do it. Because you need pride and arrogance like that. So when you hear you're so here to impact millions, you don't step away from it. You see, we're all unique, right? And so the point of that is that we're unique. We can get you what your higher calling and purpose is, but the reason I wanted to walk you through this is so you to understand it will make sense when you look at your gifts and who you are. What you're given as your higher purpose will absolutely be right in line with what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Does that make sense? Impact millions? So I'm good. Every time I get on here and I'm talking to you, even if it's just one person watching, my world is opening up because my divine power, I feel it right now, is shooting through. It's coming out. My purpose on earth is being fulfilled. The universe supports this. They support alignment. Everything in my life when it comes to abundance always comes down to being in alignment with my soul gifts or my soul type. Every single thing. It is the same for you. Tell me it isn't. And I'm just going to try to make it easy for you to learn what these soul gifts and soul types are so you can find this out yourself. All right, thank you.